Oh, it's cold, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. What's quarter past? To the gym. Yeah, week 11. Like I said at the beginning, you were going to be going up to an hour of cardio. Now, if on the day of week 12, it's like your holiday or, I don't know, whatever, if you're doing this for some sort of show, so like your bodybuilding show or whatever, then you probably should put your extra 5 minutes in this week. The reason behind that is, if you're planning on this extra 5 minutes making some difference, there's no use doing it on the day that you need it to be done by. So, yeah, at the last 5 minutes this week, so I'm doing 30 minutes before, half an hour's worth of lifting, and then another half an hour of cardio afterwards. Joy of the fucking world, all the sweat! I don't know why I decided to talk about that this week and not do it earlier on, but I'm going to talk about some sort of strength loss, because as we all know, I do a lot of like strength training, or at least I did. Now I'll explain what I mean by that. Basically, when I am eating a lot, it is a lot easier to lift a lot. When you are losing weight, you'll find that you will lose some strength as well. It's because you haven't got the calories in you to fuel you, among other things. Now, when you start with the ketosis diet, so if you're eating your normal sinful, high carb, low fat diet, you'll find probably that you've got more strength at the gym. Now, granted, when I used to do all the powerlifting stuff, I went to the gym at like 7-8 o'clock at night. Like, I'd get back from work, I'd have some food, I'd set up my bag, I'd then go to the gym, get my lifts in. Nowadays, nowadays I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go. And then, and now that sort of explains why I did the TKD style with this weight loss thing, because it puts a little bit something into you just before you start working out. Like, I do the cardio on nothing, and then I'll have the simple sugars and the protein shake, and then I'll lift. But a thing that people notice when they go on to the ketosis diet is, at first you'll lose strength, and it's because your body is used to just going, ooh, sugars, and just going, nom 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 sugars, nom 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 sugars, nom 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 sugars, from any form of carbohydrate, because all carbohydrates are sort of a form, quite a lot of carbohydrates are a form of sugar, so it's quite easy for the body to break them down for energy. But you cut out those carbohydrates, and what happens? Your body goes, oh shit, I have no energy. Now, this is why you'll see, or you'll hear about fat adaptation. Fat adaptation is your body adapting to the high levels of fat. The high levels of fat meaning that your body then uses fat to burn for fuel. That sentence didn't make sense, but I think we got the gist of it. Basically, once you've fat adapted, your body burns fat instead of carbs for fuel. At that point, your strength normally comes back up to normal, or thereabouts, which was something that worried me when I first started lifting, like a year and a bit ago. I decided to, I like to experiment with diets, I'm not going to lie to you, but I decided to experiment for a bit, literally like a few weeks, with carbs, and I noticed that really I just got fat, so I came off them and went, ooh, road rage. But yeah, so I noticed, aside from getting fat, and then I came back off, and when I came back off, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, for the first couple of weeks, I was a bit lower in the strength. Like, instead of benching, like, the bench is my most obvious weakness. And I know when I'm having an off day when my bench goes down. I don't know why, my bench is just pitiful, and I am trying to improve it, but not a lot is happening there. But yeah, so you'll notice that your strength will go down. So I'd go from benching say like 80 for a few reps to sort of maybe jumping down to 70. Like, it's only 10 kilograms difference, and as long as you're feeling like the same sort of burn, you know that you're working hard enough, it doesn't really make that much difference. But obviously, if you're doing some sort of powerlifting meet or something, maybe this advice might help, and it's to give it a few weeks. So it takes roughly, well, some people can get there in a few weeks. If you've been in ketosis for a long time and you break it, so say like one weekend, it's your birthday, you're like, fuck this, I'm going to take a couple of days out, go crazy with my mates or whatever, and start again on Monday. Now, you probably get back into ketosis pretty fast. That's the idea of the CKD diet, being in ketosis for a long time, then starting to do the weekend carb up things. You will get back into ketosis quicker, especially if you utilise, like, I've got that video on the quick way into ketosis. Stuff like that really helps. But, I forgot where I was going with this. It's too early for this shite. But usually fat adaptation can take anywhere between sort of 4 to 6 weeks, stuff like that, something like that. And it's the easy way to know that you are is, well, your strength returning. Now, a lot of people tell me that when they start doing this diet, they get higher levels of energy, like throughout the day, which is true. Like, for the first week or so, yeah, you feel a bit shit, you've got the keto flu, blah blah blah, you can avoid that, electrolytes. I've got another video on that, I think, somewhere. But another easy way is to just wait it out, and a couple of weeks later, you find you're back to normal, you have your strength levels back. Because what the keto flu is your body adapting and changing to burning fats, realising that there's no easy carbohydrates around. And, it's pretty proven, scientifically, that ketosis is, good for, thinking and energy levels and stuff like that. Like, it's good, like, it's a better fuel system for you. Now, if people argue it's more natural, I'm not here to argue stuff like that. I'm just saying that's what I have read. I'm not going to cite sources, writing an argument with someone, although I suspect I will be eventually doing all this. So yeah, it is perfectly natural to expect to lose some strength, especially in the first few weeks, especially when you're switching, especially in the first few weeks, and then with the deficit in calories of course, meaning you'll have less energy. But I tend to I'll keep wanting to say a cut, but it's not really a cut. Like, I'm not doing this for a show or anything. I was just doing it as sort of like a social experiment and seeing what I could do in 12 weeks. But when you're doing stuff like this, I tend to not focus so much on the numbers I'm lifting as opposed to the amount of times I'm lifting it. So, like before, I remember deadlifting 200 kilos, which was all well and good when I was a bit heavier, and because when you lift heavy and you're big, there's things at play there. There's like leverage and stuff. Like, if you weigh more, you're obviously going to have more weight to push around, like to pull around the bar with. Another thing at play is you can, and this is going to sound really weird, but when you start getting into lower levels of fat, you find that your joints start to hurt, because between your joints is fluid, and that can sort of, diminish, and it hurts to lift heavy sometimes when you're trying to lose it. Obviously, things like me changing to the morning doesn't help. Like, I've lifted a few times at night since starting this, and I've noticed my lifts are better, but that's because there's more in me through the day. It's not the end of the world. It's only a few kilograms here and there. But like I say, you will notice strength loss on a cut, and you will notice a strength loss coming into ketosis. That may not be a prolonged thing. Now, if, say, for example, you were deadlifting 200 kilos before and it goes down to 100 for one and you're proper grinding it out, then you're in trouble. But like I say, I don't focus so high on numbers. So if it was 200 kilos before, I'm now lifting 160 for sets of like 8, or like 150 or 140, I can't even remember what I'm doing, but like, you know, I'm doing sort of decent numbers, but I'm doing them for higher reps. Now the reason behind that is, like I say, it's easier on my joints, still feel the same sort of burn, and really because it seems a lot smarter to burn, like high intensity interval training, bursts of energy, cool down for a bit, bursts of energy, cool down for a bit. It's quite similar to powerlifting, you know, you proper hack into pulling all of the weight up, and then you rest for a few minutes, and then you pull the weight up, and then you rest for a few minutes. Whereas this is more like, I don't know, it's sort of more like your normal cardio training, where you're just solidly going because you lift and then you wait less time. So with the powerlifting it's like wait at 3 minutes, whereas with this it's like wait 45 seconds to a minute and then do another set. You know, think of it that way. You probably burn more calories this way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably burn more calories this way, which is obviously quite important when you're trying to lose the weight. Don't worry about strength loss. Just worry about, I mean, if you are doing this for bodybuilding, just think about sort of getting that burn, getting the feeling that you're looking for. Like, obviously a lot of people now think I'm a bit weird saying, feel the burn, but it is something that you get, like, that's what you're looking for when you do bodybuilding and stuff like that. So don't worry. So like I say, don't worry about strength loss. It'll happen at the beginning. It'll flatten itself out when you come to fat adaptation. You can help yourself by doing sort of a TKD style, which is what I'm doing, because I'm not doing a bodybuilding show, so I don't really worry about the extra water weight I'm carrying and the extra weight that I probably could lose by not doing this. It doesn't really bother me. If you can, go later on in the day, more food in your system, power you through. You've not just been fasting. Frankly, I'd do my cardio in the morning, my lifting in the afternoon, if I could, but I have a life. I say I have a life. I've got 2 dogs to look after, but I have a life. That's what I'm going to call it, so no one thinks I'm a loser. And don't forget to like, share, comment, Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you again next week, despite the fact that it's Monday today. Thursday videos have gone out the window, don't know why. Just keep getting busy. So yeah, I'll upload this tonight, he says, and hopefully I'll upload another one on Wednesday or Thursday. And then I'm going to, as it's Thursday and it's my birthday, like I said earlier in the video, I may or may not be taking a couple of days out. Only because it's easier when people are trying to plan things for you. That's a really fat pigeon. Oh, it's gone behind a bin. So yeah, I will see you all soon. Well, you'll all see me. My ugly mug with my horrible bed hair. Ugh. Look at this pigeon. Look at this pigeon. It's so tubby. It's so tubby. Friggin' indicators on your tosser. Why are you going around the roundabout despite indicating that way?